Jen Easterly, the U.S. Director of CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency at Homeland, joins us now. Thanks so very much for being with us.
Yeah, great to be with you.
So this is, I mean, it was always scary what the other countries and what we can see domestically in terms of election interference. But now we have artificial intelligence, which creates a whole new threat level.
It does, yeah. And thanks for having me on and for talking about the article. I do want to say at the outset, I was really pleased to be joined by Scott Schwab, who's the Kansas Secretary of State and the president of the National Association of Secretaries of State, because the Secretaries of State serve as the chief election officials. And working together in our role as the National Coordinator for Critical Infrastructure Security and Resilience, we are really amplifying their trusted voices so that foreign adversaries like Russia, like China, like Iran cannot undermine voters' confidence in our democracy. And as you pointed out, AI, these generative AI capabilities that essentially can create new text based on patterns of existing text, can intensify current risks, but they're not going to create any fundamentally new threats. Election officials have defended election infrastructure from cyber threats, from physical threats, from threats of foreign influence and disinformation, and have done it in a way where there is security and there is integrity in the elections process. I have confidence. And Andrea, the American people should have confidence in the election process.
And you're working on the technology. You're doing all of these things, you know, in a complex world, increasingly complex world. But the political context is that we had election interference primarily from Russia, according to all of the data, in 2016. In 2018, the U.S. government really protected against it in the midterms and pushed back. You developed all kinds of new techniques. And then 2020 as well. But the American people, by huge majorities, especially Republicans, because of the rhetoric, the false lies, believe that the election was a fake, it was interfered in. I mean, we saw what happened with Dominion. They think the election machines were fake. We saw what happened, you know, after January 6th and how people reacted to it. And even now, in the Iowa voting, the entrance poll showed people don't believe in the security of our elections.
So let me be very clear. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. The fact is that election officials ran secure elections in 2018, in 2020, and in 2022. There is no evidence that malicious actors changed, altered, deleted votes. And this has been challenged many times, and it's been validated and verified many times. And in any places in 2020, Andrea, where it was close, there were paper ballots that were counted and recounted and audited. So no evidence of any malicious actors that affected. And frankly, if people have questions about elections, there is huge transparency in how elections work. I would really recommend that anybody who questions the integrity or lacks confidence, you know, be a poll worker, be an observer, talk to your local election officials about how elections work to gain confidence in them. Because, you know, in this job, Andrea, I spend a lot of time with state and local election officials who work tirelessly day in and day out across 8,800 jurisdictions, across all parties. And they work to ensure the security and integrity of the elections. The other things I'd say to Americans is over the last 7 years, since election infrastructure was designated as critical infrastructure and we took on this role working with them, there have been multiple layers of defense, technological, physical, procedural controls put in place to safeguard from threats from foreign actors. And so if there are any questions, talk to your election officials.
Of course, you know, it's such great advice. You have to honor the people who have the guts to show up, given all the domestic pressure and threats and the vilification. And you see what's been happening to them in the swatting now. Who are the biggest threats in terms of AI, let's say? Is it Russia? Is it China? Is it Iran?
Great question. So it's all of the above. The DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, put out a report at the end of December that essentially declassified foreign activity that occurred in the 2022 midterms. And what they said was that they have seen foreign activity exceeded what was seen in 2018.
Wow.
More actors, and including China, getting more aggressive in influencing our elections. So it's China, it's Russia, it's Iran. They are trying to sow discord. They're trying to undermine confidence in our elections. And all of us, voters, election officials, the media, industry, everybody needs to come together to ensure that we protect elections. They really are the golden thread of our democracy. And we need to ensure that that fabric stays strong and resilient.